From Tobacco Republic in Loomis, California, the Loomis Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. All right, we're at episode 146. Scott Robinson with you for another episode, specifically episode 146 here on Beyond the Humidor. I feel like I've lived lately a little bit of a boring life because I don't have any exciting rants. So I'm going to do what I've done for the last couple and just go around the room and see how everybody's doing. Gorilla up in that gorilla enclosure. How you doing, my friend?
Perhaps the world has just learned to leave you the fuck alone.
It's about time. I mean, I set him up, Anthony, for the perfect rant.
World's not that smart.
But he refused to do it.
What?
Told you the new documentary about a little submarine that went for a visit.
I've watched it. It's not that great.
It's played. It's been done. I mean,
Yeah, we did a whole episode about it.
yeah, I'm bored now.
The gorilla is good.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Due to the gorilla's road trip last month, the gorilla is on chicken watering and plant feeding or some combination of that this weekend while everyone is absconding to parts unknown.
Okay, chicken watering.
Plant watering, feeding the chickens to the plants. I'm doing something with both of them. I'll figure it out.
You might want to leave him like some instructions.
It's fine.
I have. He keeps finding his way back.
Hey, Greg, how you doing, man?
Upright and mobile, my friend. It's hot here.
Yeah.
And
It hasn't gotten nearly as hot as it's gonna get hot. So
that's true. Well, we're just into July. Happy Treason Day, you ungrateful colonials, to all of you out there.
Hey, man, fuck you. Go back across the pond. You fucking lost. Pull your big girl panties up and start acting like an American, you fucking jackass. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Larry, you okay, man?
I'm better now.
Holy shit, man.
How about you?
Hobbling around. As you can see, I still have this damn compression thingamabobber on my knee. I think in about a week I get to go and get it drained or whatever the hell they're going to do with it. Chop it off, put a piece of furniture on it. I don't know.
Video to follow.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
With any luck.
No. I'll have more things on my mind when they pull out that giant fucking needle and people tell me, oh, it's not so bad.
That's right. I can't send Larry to videotape it.
You fucking ain't right, you can't.
Let you fucking pass out.
Getting winged in a drive-by is not real bad either, but I don't want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Shit, you just have to watch it. I have to live through it.
No, fuck, I'm good.
You know, they sit there and say, okay, yeah, they just kind of poke around the knee a little bit. Then they take the needle and say, oh, just a little poking.
Ketamine's a good thing, you know.
Take the needle. It's the size of a 3/8 drill bit. Hold still.
No
fuck off. Hold still. You're out of your rabbit ass fucking mind.
So they're not putting you under. It's a local.
Oh, they don't put you under for that shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just put you on a seat. You sit there and they, now, from what I heard, they spray like a little numbing stuff on there.
Yeah, give you National Geographic and tell you good luck. Yeah.
Can you voluntarily pass out? Hey, I'm just gonna.
I freaking wish. What I really wish is when you walk into the doctor's office, someone's behind there with one of those old leather saps from the 30s, just clocks you on the head, and you wake up and go, "Oh, my head hurts." Oh, but we're all done. Your next appointment is?
We can arrange that.
Hey, man, here's the thought. Now I'm just running this by you.
I'm listening.
Have Sue drive you, and before you leave the house, take like 7 of them dog gummies, man. I say 7 because you're a decent sized dude.
Well, yeah.
7's a lucky number. Fuck it.
Yeah, the last time I took some of that shit, I thought that my chair was a robot trying to kill me. So I don't know.
But it didn't have a needle trying to stab you in the fucking leg, now did it? Yeah, there you go.
Point taken. Point taken.
Just a little tip from your Uncle Larry.
Thank you, Uncle Larry. So I guess my life ain't that boring after all.
No.
On that note, have you considered that right this very second as we record this, some poor unknowing bastard is enjoying the last 48 hours with the use of all 10 of his fingers.
That's true.
Holy shit. Well, actually, when this goes live,
Some poor bastard's learning how to live with 7 fingers.
exactly.
And if that's you, we'd love to hear from you. We know it'll take you a moment to type out the email, but we are patient people.
Gorilla had Taco Bell again, didn't he?
Do it on your phone. It's talk to text.
I'm about to say, talk to text is going to help you.
Well,
I hope. If there's a God, we'll get a fucking email.
Well,
I made a really big mistake last Friday. I'm going to tell you about it.
well, if you're in the Sacramento region, there's less likely chance you're going to blow off part of your hand since 7 million pounds of fireworks just blew up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over in
folks,
Esparto.
that wasn't an earthquake. There was a firework factory that exploded.
No, fireworks storage, not
Whatever.
factory. You can't manufacture fireworks in California.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But if you and I'm not one. I mean, this is not morbid. I know there are people missing, but the video that from the news helicopter when that thing blew up and the whole screen that you're watching the video is now a fireball. I was like, holy shit! That was intense.
When I was on Pat's show the other night, when it happened, someone called in and said they thought it was like someone dropped a 2,000-pound bomb.
Yeah, it looks like an airstrike, man, when that thing goes off. It's like, holy shit.
Right?
Iran wasn't kidding. They pointed one our way. But
It's a really pretty one, though.
yeah.
Sparkling and shit.
Hey, Greg, you know what that explosion looked like? You looked like you fucking English when you started fucking with us. That's what happened. Yeah.
So we already have one. How many more municipalities are going to come out and be like, hey, so those were our fireworks. So you might want to, we're taking a community donation for sparklers and Roman candles.
There was a clip I saw earlier today that they're thinking there's probably going to be 30 or 40 cancellations in this area of fireworks shows because most of that stuff was supposed to get delivered today and tomorrow.
Well, and the way I understand it too, that's that person's business. Their business is now, I mean, no joke, gone.
Well, yeah, their whole block is gone.
Yeah.
Well, when they zoomed out, you can see there were 4 or 5 farmers' fields like half a mile away on fire because shit was drifting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or shit would get blown fucking 500 meters in the air and then come down in their field. Now their field's on fire.
Over there.
Wait, what the fuck is this meter shit?
He's going
You're an
along with
American.
the UK thing.
Yeah.
Meters?
Oh.
What the
See, I've infected another one.
what the fuck?
Flamey thing go big high in sky, Scott.
You kind of asked for that, man.
I kind of did, but still.
Hey, as the video pans out, you see that one guy all the way at that building on the far left putting out his camel filter on the bottom of his shoe, looking around to see if anybody sees him.
It truly isn't funny, but
It
still.
wasn't me. We told you not to smoke in the building, God damn it. Oh, well. All right, well, we kind of beat that
Speaking
horse.
of smoking,
Yeah, I guess I'm the one that has to tell us what we're smoking.
Yes, you do, sir.
as Scott and I light our beauties.
Okay. Last Friday, I went out to the Folsom Cigar Lounge with our buddy Don Felix Martinez, the cigar roller that we know, who now is the proprietor of the Folsom Cigar Lounge. And he was having an event for Black Bird cigars. And I picked up a couple of boxes while I was there. And the one that we are smoking tonight is their Meadowlark Toro 6x52. Its wrapper is Brazilian Arabica, and they do not disclose their binder and filler. It's a Maduro. It's an all Dominican Republic hand-rolled long filler. Medium to full bodied is what it says. I would have to tend to agree with that. I think it's a little bit lighter wrapper as far as a Maduro than I've seen lately. They're saying that rich, creamy, chocolate espresso, warm spice flavors. I would tend to agree with that. I think this is the second one I smoked. I think it's a pretty creamy smoke. Gets quite a bit of texture or quite a bit of smoke for a Toro, and I'm liking the cigar. Like I said, this is the second one I've smoked, and I tried. I bought a box of Superbs as well, which is Ecuadorian Habano, also a Maduro, a little bit darker, little heavier, more nutty, earthy tones to that one. But I enjoyed both of these. So if you're in your brick and mortar and you see a Black Bird and you haven't come across those before, it'd be definitely worth a try.
Now, the one thing I do notice, Larry, looking at another website here of a cigar prevailing company that we all know, it says that this is a limited run.
That's what it says on all 8 of the cigars that I looked at.
Okay.
Is limited run. There was a little bit of a communication difficulty, over there at Folsom Cigars. Felix's English is not 100%, and my Spanish is terrible, so I'm not sure what they mean by limited run. Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, I would say small production would be a better term than limited run. I don't think they're a really big house. They are sourcing and rolling and doing everything themselves. They're not. This isn't a farm out. There's not somebody else, manufacturing these cigars for them. It's them. So I think that would be more along the lines of what I would be thinking.
They're going to be at Rocky Mountain, so I'll see if I can talk to the rep that's there.
Okay. Yeah, it's well, like I said, I hadn't been out to Felix's in a while. He'd reached out to me, told me about this on a Friday. It was on a Friday, so I was like, all right, yeah, we'll come out there. And he had a good crowd out there.
Sweet.
If you're up in this area and you want to check that out, he's got a nice little lounge there. He's got a decent selection in his humidor, TV's on the wall. We were watching a little baseball and talking with a rep that was there. So yeah, it was a good time, and I think it's a decent cigar. Yeah,
I'm liking it so far. I get the sweet tone. It's very, on the initial light, I've got a very floral note to it. And I mean, it's the initial draw, the smell of the foot before I lit it was very, very nice. It had a strong little punch to it. I didn't really get any pepper. I don't know if that'll come later, but we'll see. But I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look, smell, taste, smoke like a traditional Maduro. This would be a good entry level, I think, if somebody's wanting to step up to a little bit darker to cigar. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a half step, I would say. And they're saying that it's medium to full, which I would agree with.
Really?
I'm more on the medium side than full, but
yeah, I think it's kind of a little lighter than medium, if you ask me. On the initial light and initial puffs, I got the creaminess. I don't get much of the other flavors, or at least I haven't tapped into them. Like you were talking about espresso, and we're talking spice. I'm not seeing those yet, but I love the creaminess though.
It changes a little bit as you go through it. The first one that I smoked got a little hot at the end, but again, I smoked that thing down to where I should have probably put a pick in it. I just didn't have one with me at the time. So it was where you're kind of doing the dancing fingers because I enjoyed it, and I wanted to get as much out of it as I could. So,
right.
Again, like I said, I bought a box of each of these, the Metal Arc and the Superb. So they'll float through the rotation here a little bit for a while.
Oh,
Packaging's nice. The Gorilla, I brought both boxes if you want to get a picture for the website. They got nice lacquered boxes. Pretty cool artwork on the bands. Simple, kind of ties everything together. So I think this is if they keep making cigars like this, I think this is one that'll be around for a while.
Okay. Right on.
I like it so far.
Yeah.
It's a nice stick.
Well, don't let me forget. I'll give you guys all the Superba too to try.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
At your leisure, if you were.
That would be very, very nice. Hey, Greg, what else we got going on? I heard we got some fan mail.
We do have some fan mail.
So talk to me.
If I can start with the news real quick. It's only one story this time.
Right.
The new Black Label Trading Company shipment has started. It's called the Aleto. It ships to retailers last week, so it should already be in the retailers. In fact, I saw Josh from the Vault already has it in his shop. The Aleto is a handcrafted Esteli Nicaragua by Fabrica Ovea Negra. As you also know, loyal listeners to our program will know that is Brandon and Kendrick's new distributor for Apostate Cigars. So they're starting with that one. The Aleto means the chosen one. Just as the name implies, they chose this cigar to be a tribute and celebrate their 10th anniversary. Cigar is a great representation of Black Label trading, but also highlights big, bold Nicaraguan tobacco, Ovea Negra, that it's known for. It is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, a Ecuadorian Habano binder, and Nicaraguan filler. 3 sizes: short Robusto in a 20-count box that is 4.5 by 52, a Corona Gordo 5 1/4 by 46, also in a 20-count box, and a traditional Toro 6 by 50 20-count box. Prices: this is MSRP, ranging between $12.90 and $13.90, so really good prices on the sticks. The Black Label Trading Company's made great products. I can think of a few off the top of my head when they used to be in here. I remember the Morphine being an excellent stick. So, if you like more bold flavors in your cigars, it's a line to really check out.
All right.
Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the fan mail. So let me start with our first of two. Obviously, loyal listeners of the show, or loyal watchers of the show on the YouTube channel, know that occasionally we go off the rails so bad that Gorilla cuts it and puts in a beaver break. Our listener, Mr. Brown, over in Boise, has sent a note that says, "Here's another healthy way for you to have a beaver break on the show. Ha ha. The park is named Beaver Dick, a mountain man for the late fur trade days who lived locally until 1899. Born in the United Kingdom, his real name is Richard Lee, came to the West as a trapper, but in real life, a real fur trader was already over. So he married a Shoshone woman, stayed in thereabouts. Popular earlier outfitter and guide, he served the famous Hayden Survey in 1872. Lee Lake in Grand Teton National Park is named for him, and Jenny Lake for his first wife. Picturesque character, widely known. Here is the picture of the sign."
I'm glad they went with Lee Lake and not Beaver Dick Lake.
Well, Gorilla, it actually literally is.
It's Beaver Dick. Okay.
So for those of you that wish to see the sign that don't subscribe to the YouTube channel, get on over there and hit that bell and subscribe to our channel.
One of the places I stopped was Fort Bridger, named after famous mountain man and trapper Jim Bridger. Somewhere out there in an alternate universe, there's a Johnny Horton song. Let's drink to old Beaver Dick. Yes, lift your glasses high. As long as there's a USA, don't let his memory die. I hate the thought of that. Thank you for sharing Beaver Dick with all of us.
Not all of us.
No, you were here. You were here for the. You looked at the sign. You're a part of this.
Nope. Pride Month is over. No. No.
Beaver Month is just beginning.
True. So, Lawrence.
Sir.
I have an email here. It's all basically stuff for us for next recording. James from Grass Valley is joining us on a recording, right?
We are technically joining James.
Okay.
We are going up to crawl through an attic space into a from one type of business to another, and private lounge. I mean, fuck it. This may be the day we die. I don't know.
It's sounding more and more like an escape room.
Yeah, no shit.
No, he and I have been emailing back and forth a little bit this week. Little challenging to kind of keep up with the emails. I only worked 3 days this week. I am technically closed now for the rest of the week for the 4th of July. So, James, if you don't hear from me today, tomorrow, or Friday, that's why. Because I have when this show is over tonight, when this recording's over, I'm basically turning my phone off because I'm going to take a couple days and relax. But now we're going up to Grass Valley. I think there's going to be Grass Valley Brewing stuff for us to drink, and some cigars, and we're going to talk shit, and we're just going to do it from a different location with a loyal listener.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like fun.
So that's the highlights there.
Yeah, he does. You can tell based on this. You can tell he does pay very much attention to the show. For example,
Yeah, it's a little creepy. You want to know the truth?
For example, I will bring some single barrel picks of some single malt scotches. Let me know your preferences on peat or no peat and beer flavors. If I remember correctly, none of you guys like peat.
That's not entirely true.
I'm not crazy about Pete.
I don't necessarily start with a peat, but if we're 4 scotches in, you can pour me just about anything at that point.
He also says, can't go wrong with a mild to medium cigar, and beer that pairs well with that would be an ale or lager style, or a nice light brown ale or porter.
There you go.
Light brown ale, sir. Always the light brown. Hold on, the gorilla's got something.
You say it's weird the amount of detail he knows about you. May I remind you, I'm the only one that he has a candid photo of.
That's true.
This is getting creepier and fucking creepier the more we talk about it. But you guys better keep in mind, you guys better not drink too much, because only one of us has auto drive to make it home.
Do we need to pick a safe word for the evening?
Yeah, but
See, you're making this even creepier.
yeah, but the combined weight of the 4 of us is pushing 1,500 pounds. We're hard to kidnap. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna need 2 Sprinter vans.
James, you're going to have to get help, son. Oh, Jesus.
A low load U-Haul.
Yeah.
Don't strain your back so much.
Yeah. Because if you think I'm stepping up in there on your own, you're full of shit. So, yeah.
Sorry, James, we're making you out to be like a serial killer. I'm looking forward to going up.
I know. We're just shitting on his hospitality. This is pretty.
Would he
Wait a minute.
would he have
Remember,
invited us if he did not expect this?
I would hope not.
That's true.
And he
kinda-
listens to the show enough. He knows we're all assholes. So
Yeah. And who knows? He may have us outmatched 10-1 on assholeism. Who he's just waiting to get on his home turf.
Yes.
Who knows?
But if 2 weeks go by and you don't see episode 147, send help.
Yeah.
you mean 148?
Whatever.
Yeah. So
We could have rescued him, but they put the wrong number out there, so we waited a month and a half, and by then they was dead.
I don't think we're gonna get invited back.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time.
won't be the last either.
Hey, I got a steak contest to judge in Minden in September. So I have to be back.
You say.
Yes.
That's better than a bikini contest in Minden. And fuck you if anybody's from Minden, Nevada.
Well, I know one of them is.
I need to start keeping a map and start highlighting spots where people have stopped listening to the show and see how it's like a bingo map.
Oh no!
When do we fill a country?
No, hey, they're not. They haven't stopped listening. They're listening intently to say that son of a bitch is traveling and he's coming through here. Pete, Eddie, get the guns.
As of publication of this episode, we'll be 5 weeks away from the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival.
We.
Sounds like a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
I'll be going, so you can look for my fat white ass out there. They've got a good group of vendors this year. The typicals are there, Drew, Rocky, Gurkha Foundation, Anargosa, AJ Fernandez, Arturo Fuente. But they've got a few new ones that I haven't seen in previous years. Crown Heads being one of them. Oh, okay. Diesel's going to be out there. Black Label Trading obviously is going to be out there. Black Bird is a new one that I don't remember being out there recently.
Nope.
Hooten and Young, which I've
never heard
honestly
of
don't know who that is. There's a newcomer on the block. He was a rep for one of the manufacturers, started on his own, started Bentley Cigars. He's going to be out there. That's a new one. There's a flower logoed one that I don't know who that is, and I should. That's pretty sad. West Tampa's supposed to be there, which is, I got to talk to Rick and get him on the show. And then I have not 100% confirmed it yet, but Enrique from 1502 is supposed to be back.
Oh, nice. Shoot.
So that'll be fun. I'm going to try and get him for a show too while we're out there. Some of the liquor vendors are maybe. My tablet's deciding to shit the bed, but it's liquor. What are you going to do? I mean,
our friends going to be there
from Prost?
Yes.
Right now they are not on the list.
Oh.
Penelope though is a new bourbon. I don't know if either of you got the chance to try it.
No, I haven't.
They're going to be out there. I'm going to talk to them if I can. Last year the booth was a zoo, so I didn't able to get in there. I do know for Prost, they just opened their new beer garden location. They've now got two. They've got the one in Denver and one in another area.
Oh, wow.
So they're doing pretty good. I will hopefully be making it up to Graham and Catherine's from Hogback Distillery.
Okay.
Talk to those folks and see what's going on. If they want to get on camera, hopefully we will get them on camera a little bit too.
Awesome.
Looking forward to that.
Gorilla has a question from Ethan. Is it still possible to acquire a bottle of Enigma?
You would have to speak to Gregory.
I will email. I will message Catherine.
Ethan,
when we get this done.
Ethan saves the Enigma for special occasions, but when I told him that it sounds like the Enigma will be going out of circulation, he politely requested a bottle if we can make that happen.
I'll do my best.
He really loves the Enigma.
Well, realistically, I'm thinking if she's got them, Catherine, we need a case.
Can we hide them under a table or something until Greg gets there?
Yeah, hide them, please. I know that I've still got partial bottle of Enigma left. I don't know if you do.
Oh, dude, I'm out.
I have a partial.
But I have a portion of a bottle left, and it was just good stuff.
If she could swing a case, I'll take a couple. Excuse me. Oof. That Corona's coming up. I'll take a couple more bottles.
I'll take a bottle, definitely.
I will try and grab as many as I can.
Okay, right on.
And have them shipped back to me because I'm not trying to fly with that shit after Larry's experience the last time we went out there.
Oh, hell no. Not to mention you're paying for freight.
What'd they upcharge you, $150 for your suitcase?
Yeah.
What? I'd forgotten about that.
Oh, yeah, $150, man.
Fuck. That's not good.
I could have smuggled a child for less than that.
Hey, now that we know the Toyota will make it, we might have to send the Beyond the Humidor ground crew Tacoma to ship stuff back. Send the gorilla out 2 days early. He comes back a day behind you with everything in the car.
Or the QX80 with the trailer attached. That could happen.
Yes. Yeah. It's only 14 hours.
The Beyond, I'll wrap a camper shell with the Beyond the Humidor logo if that means we get a camper shell for my Tacoma.
No. The Scotty Robinson. Well, if I take mine, the Scotty Robinson experience.
Wouldn't that be the Good Dog voiceover experience?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Taxes. Thank you.
That's right. Taxes.
So
shit, those things.
So can we go back to 2022 for a minute? Because
Do we fucking have to?
yes, we do.
Okay, why?
We're
Because
only halfway through 2025. I don't want to go back.
I don't know how many listeners understand the shirt you're wearing. So Scott and Larry, can you relay that one again? Because that was a hell of a story.
Lords?
No, it's on you.
No, this is on you, dog. Your wife brought this one, so this is on you, dog.
I mean, that's the whole story. My wife thought it looked like you. She bought the shirt.
Yeah, but didn't
Oh, shit, yes.
let's
Vegas.
retail the drunk ass
Oh, so
chick in Vegas.
So we go to PCA in 2022 in Las Vegas, and Greg, because he gets up at 2:05 every morning, goes to bed at 7:30.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Scott and I, we're out there like we just made parole, and so, we're like, fuck it, we're going across the road. This chicken outfit's crossing the road. So we went over and hung out with a couple other podcast guys, and we're smoking cigars at a different place, and we're walking along, and both of us had a significant amount of alcohol, and I tend to slow my pace a little bit walking when I've had that much alcohol because I'm kind of top heavy. And Scott is considerably longer legged than I am and moves at a faster clip than I do typically to begin with. So he's about 8 steps ahead of me. And we're walking along past the fountain at Bellagio.
Yeah.
And there's this group of girls, and I don't know if they were a bridal party, what kind of somebody's, 22nd birthday. I don't know what kind of mess it was, but they were in kind of 2 small herds. And the first herd, both of us went by, and as the second herd goes by, one of the girls says to another, I'm like, I think that was Suge Knight. I'm like, he's fucking dead. I'm like,
No, prison. Not dead.
yeah, I was close. And Scott didn't hear her, and I'm busted up, man. And he turns around and he goes, "The fuck you doing?" I go, "Didn't you hear that?" He goes, "Hear what?" So I tell him, so this is what necessitated that shirt. Is my wife saw that someplace, and she's like, "I got to get this." I'm like, all right. What size do you think Scott wears? I'm all, XL.
Omar, the tent maker.
I'm all XL. And she was this close. She had XL checked, and she looks at me and she goes, "He's not an XL."
No, I am not.
I'm like, damn it. That would have been as funny as the event.
Yeah.
Here, Scott, I got this shirt for you. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, it won't fit. It won't fit.
Yeah,
anyway.
back in 1999, maybe.
Yeah, when you were a senior in high school, that would have fit you. So yeah, that's the Suge Knight shirt story.
Well, we got that one for you. I know you still have it. It's the Pornhub colors,
yeah,
but it
pork
says
rub.
pork rub. And from a distance, if you catch it at a glance, you're like, what the fuck's that motherfucker wearing?
Yeah, I don't
good
wear that
times.
one out a lot just because I don't want little old ladies looking at me saying, "That's disgusting, young man."
Well,
That's
hell,
like, that's almost as good as the Pillsbury Doughboy one that says white flour.
well, Brown got me for my birthday or Christmas a cigar shirt, and it says the Ash Father, like the Godfather logo, right? Gorilla's in here one day, and we're sitting in there, and he must have had his Cheerios that morning or Taco Bell that evening, much like tonight.
Your shirt folded over in just the right way that I had to do a double take. I thought it said ass father.
That would be a whole new world for me, but okay, why not?
Yeah, I mean, especially since you're not Catholic.
Yeah.
God.
But,
Tough crowd.
Wow. That's terrible.
But, it's one of those where the shit that happens, especially to the three of us when we go out somewhere, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what it's going to be.
Now, it's a pity that we can't get together in September and have one last drink at the Fuente Lounge.
Yeah. And, this is going to come out after this, but I think it's worth saying.
What's that?
Frankie's memorial for the Bakersfield gentleman is the 5th of July. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we're not going to be able to make it, but we think about Frankie often. We think about Miguel, and I can't wait for Miguel to get the show going again, because I do miss checking their program out once in a while.
Most
so
definitely, most definitely.
we won't be there, brother, but we're thinking of you.
Yep, absolutely.
Sending some good smoke in the air to them.
So I got to run something by you guys.
Okay, right away.
There was a conversation amongst a few people, retirement, and somebody asked me if the plan was for the business that I proprietate, if that was going to be passed on to the gorilla and the gorilla's brother. And that's the likely scenario, but one of these people's like, so when you think you're going to be done? And you guys have heard me. My standard answer to questions like that is based on poor decisions as a younger man. I'm going to be working till I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother.
So,
Yeah.
But I came up with this. I've been formulating this idea, and this will please the gorilla probably more than anybody else, because it means he won't have to take care of me. I figure I got probably 8-10 good years left in me, and then what the hell am I going to do? I got this figured out.
I'm listening.
I'm going to call in a bomb threat.
Okay, you have my attention.
Stop recording.
And the one guy's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You're going to fucking blow something up? I said, no, man, that's not what I said. I said, I'm going to call in a bomb threat. I'm not going to blow anything up. The guy's looking at me, he goes, the fuck are you talking about? You going to call in bomb threat to where? I said, I don't know, NFL game, NASCAR event, Catholic church, I don't know.
Wow, going for the gusto.
And I said, then I'm just gonna barricade the house, get myself a couple of cocktails and a cigar, and sit and wait for the police to, and formulate their plan on how they're gonna breach the location.
No, not the police, the ATF, or the SWAT team.
Yes, because we're talking federal crime now.
Yeah,
and federal time easier to do, brother.
Depending on where you go.
You're a grumpy white guy. Worst they're going to do is like, Miss Marlott, knock it off.
You're drunk. Go home.
Don't
Opinions
make
of
us
this
come out here again. I
podcast and those that represent it.
knowledge of this shit. Hey, can you barricade the property on a weekend I'm gone or some shit? Like,
Yeah, I don't want you to get hit by a stray bullet or
yeah,
something.
fuck no.
Yeah.
Wait, print me a sign of that one.
Yeah.
Yes, but gorilla.
Other fat guy.
No. You say Gorilla's house, Ruby Ridge.
Yeah. But the other thing you got to figure, gorilla, is this now leaves you still have to care for one member of your family.
Yeah.
Good luck.
His brother's got a wife. Oh, that's not the member you were talking about.
No. I'll probably wake up dead, but yeah. So,
Greg, wrap your head around this thought. If she was going to kill you, it happened a long time ago.
that's probably true.
You're not even in the top 5 right now.
I need to work harder.
I'm occupying spots 1, 2, and 3, or actually 1, 3, and 4 right now, because I think Bob Patterson's number 2.
Oh, man, you're not even in the line of succession if she does take someone off the list. Like, you're you're fine.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near it. I'm bloody delightful.
Yeah, let's go with that. So, no, man,
I like your plan, though. That's smart, though.
Well, because the other option, the other thing is sitting down talking with my tax / bookkeeper, looking at how things have gone over the last couple of years. She tells me the other day, she says, you can go at 60. I'm like, oh, shit. She goes, yeah, as long as you're dead by 61, you'll be fine. I'm like, wow. Yeah. She ain't wrong.
Yeah, I looked at my pension. I was actually pleasantly surprised until they told me, oh, there is a qualified domestic relations document attached to it, which means my first wife gets part of my pension. So she got her chunk, and mine still isn't that bad. So I'm like, oh, okay. I mean,
So the only thing you can hope for is she goes before you? How's that work?
no, she gets that cut, and that's hers.
Damn.
Yeah, she gets it's just chop. Here you go, and I have what's left, which again isn't horrible, but still, I can't retire.
Dude, your wife wants to move to Florida. How much more horrible can it get?
He's already got the shoes.
And the knee brace. All he needs is a cane.
Hey,
Speaking of, join us on the next episode when he will have one.
shit, I probably will. Don't fucking laugh.
I'm waiting for that little scooter to come back that you had years
Oh,
ago.
hell no. I'm not doing that shit again.
And the best part was, folks, he's too tall for the motherfucking scooter, so he has to bend over it like he's 75 years old to ride it.
And then the son of a bitch had a bell. You want to talk about an affront to my dignity. It had a bell and a basket.
Which would you rather do, push the dog stroller or use the scooter again?
Ooh, there's a tough call. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
That's like a square pool from hell right there.
you do have a point.
You got better odds on that than the Raiders winning a Super Bowl.
See, that's not very nice.
I'm not a nice person. Ask around.
Speaking of football, I don't know if some motherfucker did this as a joke, but I have been getting messages from SoFi, and then some cat called me today telling me we got great ticket prices for Charger games.
Wasn't me.
I'm just wondering, did someone call that in and say, oh, yeah, Scott Robinson would be really interested. How about a booth at SoFi? I'm sitting here confused, like, when did
How far back in the phone book are they going to find an address for you in SoCal that, hey, let's send this son of a bitch in? Hey, I haven't lived there in 34 years. You guys need some ticket holders.
Oh, shit.
Jesus. And now, you know what they did is they pulled up a picture of you and, hey, there's a guy that's big enough to defend himself in this shitty environment. Let's see if he can buy some tickets. Ain't nobody going to fuck with him when he's walking in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Inglewood.
Yeah, it's Inglewood. Yeah, there you go.
Remember, I grew up in Watts. If given a choice between Watts, Compton, and Inglewood.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a hat trick of I can't go
Yeah,
there.
I'm going west on Century Boulevard to Inglewood.
Wow. There's people in L.A. going, fuck that guy. Inglewood ain't that bad.
That's what I said.
Inglewood ain't that bad. Hey, man, give me your watch and your... What? Okay.
Well, it's not like he wears his tag low or whatever it is anymore.
My what?
Don't you have you have one of them funny branded watches?
I have a Braemont, I have a Bell & Ross, and I have a couple of Bulivas. My next one, which I wish, and every time I walk through the forum shops in Vegas, is a Breitling.
So funny you say Breitling, okay? Mm-hmm. One of my coworkers happens to be he's a boot whore and a watch whore.
So he's got good shit.
He's got great, I mean, he walks in his boots and I'm like, so what is it today? White rhinoceros? He goes, no, hippo. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, every time he sees me now, because we were talking about watches one day, because he was wearing some fancy high-end, it was a Breitling, actually, I think it was. And I said, sweet. I love the Breitling Aviator. And he looks at me deadpan. He goes, you stop buying cigars, Greg, you could afford an Aviator.
Yeah, he's actually right.
And I'm like, well, as we all know, that ain't going to happen, so.
Yeah.
I lost 5 cigars, and I'm kind of miffed at that.
You haven't even, well, you've had one before, haven't you?
Nope.
So you've never, oh, wow.
Nope. And I got to find them.
Indeed you do, sir.
Mm-hmm. They're in there somewhere. They've got to be.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah. Well, I thought I left them in Idaho, but Mr. Brown said they're not in his humidor. So
Mr. Like, Brown's smoking the fifth one going, I haven't seen a goddamn thing.
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah, don't know, Greg. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, if he's there, if they are in his humidor, and I'm going to say this on the live program, you know, if they are there and he's thinking about holding them hostage, I know what he's going to ask for them, and I just agree to it now. He's going to ask for Last Czars.
Oh, yeah, the mini Last Czars you have. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, we got kind of a bit of a tangent. Let's talk about this epic fan mail we received.
We did. We talked about both of them.
Oh, shit. Well, that just goes to show
Anthony, how did you put it? I omitted. You realize I only read like 5 lines out of James's email because I omitted the rest of the Tolkien-esque email that he sent.
Well, see, that's what I was waiting for. What else?
A lot of it is irrelevant to the rest of the listeners because it's just logistics for getting together in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So they don't really need to know that.
Okay.
I mean, it also has his phone number, and I don't really want to put that out on live video. Might be fun, but I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I'm not that big of a dick.
Opinions vary.
So we're halfway through, Scott and I, but I want to start with Anthony. What are your thoughts on this Black Bird?
I like it. I like it a lot. It is creamy and smooth, but still has, again, same as last show. Can't put my finger on it, but it's not a full Maduro, but it's got similar traits. It's dark. It's got a bunch of different flavors going on, but it's not so heavy that it's unapproachable because I'm more middle of the road to lighter. But I agree with what my dad said. This might not be a good stepping stone to get into more powerful sticks.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's very smooth and very creamy. But one of the things I appreciate, and I know there's another listener out there, because of the conversations he and I have had, there's a complexity to this cigar. It's not one note. It has a lot of different flavors behind it. And I think for someone that likes their cigar to be more complicated, more things to focus on, this is a great option. I'm about halfway through it. It's still got the floral note. The sweetness has kind of disappeared. There's a spice note. You tend to say baking spice a lot, Anthony, and I think that is a good option. It's got that warm pumpkin pie feeling, but not that flavor, if that makes sense.
More of a white pepper.
Yeah.
I was just thinking white pepper.
Yeah. But there is also, I could see where people are getting the kind of the chocolatey or the espresso notes.
I don't see it.
I'm not getting the espresso. I'm getting a little bit of the chocolatey, but I think that's
The farther into it you get, I think the more it's. I think where the chocolatey comes from is based on. I've got about 1.5 inches left on this, and based on where I'm at on this right now, the kind of aftertaste, the linger in your mouth, is kind of the same feeling you have after eating a big piece of chocolate bar. You know, when you do that, you have that flavor kind of stays with you for a minute. It takes a little while for that to dissipate out of your palate. That's what I'm getting out of this is you draw, you exhale, and you still have that kind of creamy richness that hangs around there for a minute. And that's not the case with a lot of cigars. You exhale, you're waiting to redraw. There's not a lingering flavor to quite a few of the cigars I smoke. This one seems to linger a little bit, and I like it, lingering in a good way. Scott, you're not getting any of that, are you?
I'm not getting any of that. But see, here's the thing. I suck at, trying to figure out the flavors unless it's just one of those over
the top,
obvious kinds of things. It's kind of like, I know what I like, and I like it. I get the creaminess, the smoothness, which is, what I want from a cigar. This is nowhere near Maduro. I think this is like on the lighter side of medium for me.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly fine.
But this is a prime example of what we've said 500 times is everyone's experience is different.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the exact same cigar. It came out of the same box. Mm-hmm. All four of us are smoking the same thing, and we are getting relatively different experiences from that cigar. And that's just normal.
Yeah.
You know, if we had 8 more people in here smoking the same cigar, the chances of 3 of us having the same opinion is slim and none. Everybody's preferences are going to be a little bit different, you know, depending on what they're drinking with it, what they had for lunch. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's just so many variables to this. But at the end of the day, it's a good enough cigar that you should probably try it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I even get a note right before the initial draw, right as the initial draw starts to happen for me. The best way I can describe it is we're sitting at the it wasn't McCormick and Schmidt. What was the steakhouse we went to in Las Vegas? Smith and Walensky. Right as you go to take that bite of that perfectly cooked filet that we've ordered, you get that odor of cooked meat with spice. And that's what I get on the initial draw. Just before I get to the initial draw, I get that odor. And it's so pleasant because it reminds me of a well-cooked steak.
See, that's the only time I get the floral note.
Yeah, there's nothing floral about this.
Was right when I'm about to draw, you get that kind of light, airy, and then you draw in, and then... So, yeah.
Speaking of steaks, we have a new steakhouse in town.
Don't they?
Yeah, Fleming's over by the Galleria. They opened on the 30th.
Now, did that go in some other existing place that went kaput? Or?
Yeah, remember, probably Pier 1.
They went in the Pier 1 building, that standalone building?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was a major remodel then.
Yeah. Because, you know, Omar the rug maker is, you know, still next door. Mansour, that's it.
Man. Also, and Sherry and I were just there last night, Trailblazers Pizza. Remember we went all the way up almost to Grass Valley?
Yes.
They opened a second location in the old Applebee's building on Bell Road.
Really?
Oh, nice.
And they have really good pizza, too. And they got...
nice.
They don't have a full liquor license, but I think they had 10 on draft. They got... Last night they had the Chronic from Pizza Port, which is a kind of an amber, a little darker than amber.
Okay.
And then they had a seasonal from Anderson Valley, which usually has that Boont, kind of a brown ale, or an amber from them. And both of those beers were really good. Sherry had a pasta dish that was great. I had a meatball sandwich that was great.
Nice.
So, really, they cleaned the place up a lot. You know, Applebee's is kind of one of those places that got shit all over the walls.
Oh, yeah, that kitsch or whatever they call it.
And this is really, really cleaned up. I mean, there's a couple of things here and there on the wall, signage-wise, but that's it. And service was good, food was good, prices are reasonable. So, you know, yeah, we'll definitely be back there. But yeah, I'd heard there was a steakhouse coming. I didn't know it was open already.
Yeah.
We'll have to
make
go a trip.
We got to make a trip to Fleming's, definitely.
All right.
Because I could go for a really nice white tablecloth steakhouse filet.
Yes.
I don't have to go all the way downtown to Morton's, because I think the one over by Pavilions in Fair Oaks is gone.
I do believe that's correct.
And is Morton's even still around?
Downtown, I believe.
Okay.
The one that I always enjoyed downtown, and it's not the same anymore. Not that we're a travel program for downtown Sacramento, but the Firehouse was always really nice.
Yeah, I like Firehouse.
But it's, as Old Town has gone downhill, so have they.
Okay.
But, you know, I mean, you know, Larry said this many years ago, and it was very true when I was traveling for work. You want to find a good place to eat and you're in a town you don't know? Ask a fat guy that you see, because they know how to eat. The 3 of us are prime examples.
Well, and it's just, you know, that was the weird thing about moving up here. I came up in 92 from North San Diego County, and there wasn't really a lot of restaurants. you'd ask somebody, hey, man, where's a good steakhouse or a good Italian place you want to take somebody? Well, we got the Olive Garden. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Is this, which, nothing against Olive Garden, but, is there a mom and pop Italian place that's good? Or is there a steakhouse,
Yeah.
Well,
Black Angus. Jesus Christ.
the one that I enjoyed, and I've only been there once, and I don't even think they're in business anymore. It was that crazy coot that used to come in here periodically and see the proprietor that owned the Italian restaurant up the road.
In Newcastle?
I think so.
No, it's still in business. His son runs it.
Okay.
We've been there, I think.
Yeah. Anthony, what the hell's the name of that place?
La Fonoretta.
Yes.
And most people in Newcastle will tell you it's not Italian, Sicilian.
Yeah.
And it's fucking good.
Yeah, John Luca is the son. He's actually Anthony's
He was in my
age.
8th grade class and went to high school with him, yeah.
I can't
his-
remember.
his
The
dad
father's
was-
name was odd.
Cesare.
Cesare. Thank you. That was what it was.
He was cool. He
yeah.
He did pizzas one time for our 8th grade class.
Yeah.
To all
Treasury was goofier than a pet squirrel.
nuts, but in a good way.
Yeah. No, great guy. Just he'd liable walk up to your table and pick up a fork and take something off your plate.
I cooked this. I get to eat it.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, he'd do shit like that. But
his food was good.
no, the food's still good.
Yeah.
John Luca has Mama's recipes from Sicily. They make excellent food.
Right on.
Pasquale's, which is in Old Town Auburn now. There used to be a restaurant years and years ago up there called Pasquale Teas. The lady that opened Pasquale's worked at Pasquale Teas for years, and you can literally sit at the bar at this place, watch the stuff come off the line, off the stove. It's a 3-step walk for the cook with a pan. It goes from the pan to the plate to your table in less than 3 minutes. Wow. I mean, they have people, they're lined up, food runners. There's 2 or 3 of them right there at that window all the time. A plate does not sit. I mean, as soon as that pan turns back up, somebody's carrying that plate out. It's
nice.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And their food is outrageous. It is really, really good. And I really enjoy really good Italian food. I like Italian a lot. And I like what Italians do with seafood. Scallops and shrimp primarily.
What we'll have to do too, with the Italian, if we find the 3 of us are up there in Boise, we'll have to kindly ask Carolyn, that's Will's wife, to make us a dish of lasagna.
Oh.
It's about that tall, and just some of the best I've ever had.
Oh, let me tell you, if we make our way to Vegas, Capo's, that place, that lasagna, that is the best lasagna I've ever had.
Red or white sauce?
Red sauce. And it's fantastic.
Now, you're probably going to want to kill me for this. But a friend of mine introduced this to me, and I've ordered it at a restaurant a couple times, and they look at you funny. But you order the lasagna with red sauce, and you ask them to drizzle some Alfredo over the top of it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Not even at gunpoint.
Nope.
That's a cry for help.
Yeah.
I'm beyond help.
Oh, well, we're
No
aware.
shit.
We're pointing it out to the rest of the people.
They should be aware by now, too.
Jesus.
But
Oh, question. Where are you in the baseball pool, Pat's? No, Pat's in first place.
Pat's solidly in first place. I haven't looked at it in about 3 weeks.
So that means he's 7th.
No, I am probably 4th out of this 5 of us right now.
Who's doing shittier than you?
Robin, probably.
Robin.
Well,
Robin is only shittier than me because I have...
was she an Orioles fan or something?
No, she's a diehard Giants fan. And the Giants are doing really well, surprisingly. But the premise for our listeners is opening week, we get together, we go on Pat's program, the Pat Walsh Show on 1530 KFBK, also on the iHeart Rap.
And 93.1 FM.
Right. And if you guys aren't in the area, you can go to the iHeart app. You can listen to our show, and you can listen to Pat's show, and you can listen to Pat's Peeps podcast. They're all three available on there, including his live show every Monday through Friday, including when this man is filling in as the host. Did
you get all that, Pat? We expect a check.
Yes, we do. We do post. Scott is kind enough to post on our social media when he's going to host Pat's program, so you all should check it out. But
I was going to say, before you continue, also note every Tuesday I go into the studio and I'm a guest, and I'll get on there and talk about a segment or two.
Yeah.
And give a little colorful commentary as we go. So you can also check it out every Tuesday, and hey, you may catch me there.
Yeah. The thing is that the baseball prediction pool is it's a $20 buy-in, and you're basically predicting the National and the American League Championship Series and the World Series in March. So Pat's won it every year. He wins it every year, and
it's fixed.
Pat's one of those dudes. He lives, breathes, eats, and sleeps baseball. It is one of his passions. And so he's got it down to the stat, the most minute stat, the most obscure player. He knows who it is. So yes, he predetermines to win. This is my third year playing. My best year was the first year I played, in which I came in second. And the only thing that fucked me over was the Oakland A's, for once, getting into the playoffs and not advancing out of their wild card game. Otherwise, I would have won and Pat would have lost. This year, I'm in fifth place because my prediction for the World Series was the Dodgers and the Red Sox. Long shot, I know, but I'm a Red Sox fan. I got to believe. It's interesting, though. As most people that follow baseball know, the Oakland Athletics shit the bed and are going to Las Vegas. They vacated the Coliseum before the new stadium in Las Vegas had even broken ground. They are playing at our home team, which is the Sacramento River Cats. It's our AAA ball club. So they're playing in West Sacramento. It's only 35 minutes from here. They refuse to embrace Sacramento. They are the Athletics.
I read that.
And they have an entire fan base here who would be more than happy to fight to have a Major League Ball club build a stadium in the old rail yard and have Major League Baseball in Sacramento, but they won't embrace the freaking team.
Not just that, but have they also just kind of... There have been a couple of news articles I've seen where they've just been, like, complaining actively. Not
all
just
they do is
passively ignoring, actively, like, fuck this stadium.
Yeah.
Fuck, like... Okay, go down the road and play at fucking Elk Grove Middle School's ballpark.
You could have played in a fucking field in Vegas till they built you a stadium, you whiny cocksucker. You're making $42 million a year. How about eating a dick and shutting up?
And especially, let's be real here. They're one of the worst teams in the league, in the entire either league, but they have a loyal fan base. Oakland was very loyal to that team, and Oakland, the city, has managed to fuck up every Major League sports team that's been in there. They lost the Raiders to Las Vegas. They lost the A's to Las Vegas. They lost the Golden State Warriors. How the fuck do you mess that up? But they did. So, yeah, now they're bitching about our ballpark, and I got news for them. The River Cats are one of the best AAA ball clubs in the Pacific Coast League. They typically win the division every year. They used to be an Oakland affiliate up until 5 years ago when they became a Giants affiliate and the Nashville Sounds became the Oakland affiliate. So, I mean, they're just shooting themselves in the foot with this area, and it's really kind of sad to watch because I was excited to be able to drive 35 minutes and catch a Major League ball game. The other thing they did that really pissed off a lot of fans is the ticket prices are jacked way the fuck up. I'm sorry. You're bottom of the barrel. I'm not going to pay what I would have paid to go to Oakland and watch a game, to go to my River Cats stadium when I can go get a good seat to watch River Cats for $35.
And they play a better game.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Way better baseball.
Well, and the AAA baseball are guys that still want to play baseball.
Yes.
You know,
That's true.
that's, you know, you look at, and now that there's 97,000 channels of sports on, you watch some of these highlights of AAA stuff where you got guys diving into the stands to make a catch. I'm trying to think where the hell they're from. North Carolina. They're the Flying Squirrels. They're a AAA affiliate for the Dodgers.
I think that's South Carolina, but
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just the AAA stuff, the names, the logos, that everything about AAA baseball is just freaking crazy, man. It's just major. It's like, it reminds me of the movie Major League, you know. You're dragging your cooler, you know, we're here for the game. It's like, holy shit.
Well, one of my favorite, and I think it's a AA or an A ball club, but one of my favorites is one that the name's been around for years. In fact, this is where podcasts cross.
I was about to say.
The Toledo Mud Hens. Mm-hmm. It was a running joke for MASH.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you only found out recently when I told you that's a real ball club.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is cool. So now I follow them for obvious reasons of I like MASH equally as much as Anthony does.
One of the wild card things in the barrel is eventually do another road trip, but go from meet Ethan in Kansas and do a loop out to Toledo and back through some of the hometowns of the different MASH characters. And part of on that list was catch a Toledo Mud Hens game.
Absolutely.
Just because. And Tony Pacos is still there and open, and right across the river from Tony Pacos is Jamie Farr Park.
Well, I might not drive out there with you, but on that trip, I would definitely fly out and meet you in Toledo. That would be fun.
Well, see, I got to get together with Pat because, as a lot of people know, I'm not really a baseball guy, but Pat just loves the game so much. It has so much knowledge to it. I would sit with Pat for a baseball game. It's just, hey, teach me.
Well, and I think that's, to me, I like watching the games on television. There's nothing better than being up at Brown's up in Boise in the Oasis, sitting there smoking a cigar and watching the ball game on the television. That's great. But baseball is so much more fun when you're in the stands with a hot dog and a beer. Mm-hmm. You know, it's... Huh?
Beer.
No hot dog?
Nah.
You got to have a dinger dog.
Man, one of the best times of my life was going with my brother Mark to Yuma for Padres spring training. The first year that the Dodgers traded Steve Garvey to the Padres. That's my brother.
Oh, you're going back.
That's my brother's all-time favorite player.
All right.
My brother is a lifelong Dodgers fan, and he came down to San Diego. And we drove over to Yuma for spring training. And back then it was still in Yuma. And honestly, it was like going to a high school baseball game. We walked a block and a half from the motel we were staying to the ballpark. It was $8 tickets. You walked up the back of the bleachers. You bought Miller Lights in a can from a guy with a big tub of ice cold Miller Lights. You walked up and we sat in the third row, and literally 20 feet from you, Goose Gossage is warming up. Tony Gwynn is out there, you know, seeing which cleats he's going to wear. We were there for 5 days, and it was the best 5 days. And I'm not a huge baseball guy either. I enjoy baseball. You know, we had a block of tickets my dad's shop did for the Padres, so we'd go to Padres games and stuff. But just, yeah, it was amazing. People were having a blast. Yuma is a little bitty town, or was back then. There were 2 restaurants, one on each end of town. So wherever you decided you were going to go eat that night, you would see a third of the ball players that were in town because they had to eat somewhere too, right?
Right.
So yeah, it was just a great time, man. And there's a reason that baseball is the American pastime.
Yeah.
Right on.
And it's one of those things, like, you're a Padres fan, Larry. Right now, your Padres Now, mind you, we're before the All-Star break, but your Padres are in the number 2 spot in the Western Division. They are 8 games behind the Dodgers. They are right now in contention for a wild card spot. So, and that was I believe the Padres was one of my picks. I'd have to go pull the picks and look. But you don't get that in football. You don't get that in the other sports, and baseball's not the most popular worldwide sport. That's, of course, football. And by football, I mean soccer. And that's where you and I get into an argument every year because Scott likes to root for the shittiest team in the Premier League in the UK, and I root for, in my opinion, the best team, but we still have a good time, except a couple of years ago, Man U was playing Arsenal, and Scott goes, I'm going to record the game. We can pull the TV out there outside, sit and smoke a cigar and watch the game and yell at the TV. Motherfucker records the Spanish broadcast. So here he and I are smoking. He's drinking. I'm not. But nonetheless, and it was still a good time, even though the only thing we understood was goal. But and it's I mean, baseball is just that sport. I mean, the oldest stadium in the country right now is still in use, and that's Fenway. Yep. And I've made a pilgrimage to Fenway. Unfortunately, it was February, but I have been there. And it's just one of those where I really enjoy that. And I mean, fuck, if we could go back 50 years and be able to sit at the game and smoke a cigar, it would truly make it a great day.
Yep.
No doubt. No doubt.
But yeah, if you're going to get into baseball, man, Pat's the one to learn from.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because
that guy knows more about baseball than any human being I've ever seen.
Yeah, and that's why the prediction pool is fun. It's stressful, not for Pat, but it's stressful for me, because I see Pat every other, in here all the time at the shop.
Yeah.
And he's like, so where are you in the pool? I'm like, you know exactly where I'm in the pool, motherfucker. Why are you even asking me? And then they pull bonehead maneuvers, right? One of the best players in the league about 5 years ago was Panda. He was a Giant. Yeah, San Francisco Giant, right?
Right.
The Red Sox paid $30 million for Tubbo. Pull him over to our division. He plays for us for like 6 months, gets hurt. We kick his ass to the curb, sell him back to San Francisco for $200,000, and we still have to pay his $30 million fucking contract. Who in the right mind thought that was good business? But that's the kind of shit that happens in baseball. We just did that again to the Giants for one of our best hitters.
It's tough to be the king.
Yeah. I love it.
We got final thoughts on the cigars. We got final thoughts on anything.
Oh, dude, this is...
Do we give 2 shits? Where are we at?
I hate to do this after the baseball talk, but it got me thinking about something I've been doing recently, and I feel the audience about to half of them all roll their eyes. But as you guys have been talking about baseball, I've been thinking about what I've been doing recently. I can feel Scott's eye roll coming.
Wait, but Anthony,
I know what he's going
we
with.
need to take him on one of these adventures.
Fuck
No.
Dungeons and Dragons?
I
played that.
I have been enjoying. I randomly put one on a couple months back, and I have kept up with following it. I have been watching NASCAR again.
Okay.
And I say again because it was on every fucking trailer out at Capitol, whatever NASCAR race that weekend was on. And I'll say I'm like, okay, I'll put it on the background while I cook, and I found myself actually watching it because there's some like baseball. I don't dislike baseball. I'll go to a live game because live games are cool. Couldn't give a shit if it was on TV. It does not.
I'm kind of with you
attract
there.
my attention. But I found myself watching the NASCAR race and going, okay, he's gonna pass now. Okay, shit. Like I found myself reading the movements of the different racers. Like, oh shit, that thing I did when I was 8 is still in there somewhere. It's very weird, but also enjoyable weirdly. And forgive me if you are a hardcore NASCAR fan. I have barely begun tuning back into it, but I guess they have a new chassis, a new body type that they're racing now that changes how the cars perform. and apparently it's a lot more interesting racing.
Well,
it was becoming very cookie cutter apparently the last couple of years, and they upgraded the model of car, and now there's a lot more stuff you can tweak and a lot more fine tuning of how the car operates, because that's the thing that I try to explain to my friends. Like, it's not just the dude driving the car; it's the crew chief and crew that in the week between the race figure out what the fuck happened.
NASCAR wants to get more viewers. Go back to a 40 Dodge business coupe. You fuck.
There you go.
Fuck you. Go back to a two-door fucking car that I could buy right now.
The fabulous Hudson Hornet.
If we go down to the Ford dealer right down here in Roseville, I could get the same goddamn model and drive that son of a bitch.
Yeah. Who's your driver you prefer, Anthony?
It's weird because all the old drivers were all the rookies when I last watched. It's very weird. Jeff Gordon's a crew chief now, and that kind of fucked me up for a minute. Like, he's a gray-haired crew chief, and I'm like,
right?
Whoa.
My driver retired, so.
Oh, bitch, shut up, man. I'm waiting for Cale Yarborough III.
But see, Scott occasionally watches NASCAR, and if I remember right, you have a driver.
It's been so long, I don't even remember anymore.
Probably one of the Bush brothers.
There are 2 events coming up that I'm kind of looking forward to watching NASCAR for the Daytona 500.
All right.
They're doing something a lot of people are going to think it's dumb, but I think it's very funny and silly, and it's like, fuck it. Do more shit like this. Why not? They are partnering with Disney and Pixar. They're going to have a Cars-themed Daytona 500.
That'll be February, right?
Yeah. And they're going to have all the cars painted in the paint jobs of the different cars you see in the Cars franchise.
Okay, that is kind of cool.
And they're going to have the Daryl car trip, and they're going to have the announcers is essentially mocapping the 2 announcer cars from the... It's silly, but it's like, who gives a shit? It's
right.
the Daytona 500. Have fucking fun with it.
No, I got you.
That and the Brickyard 400.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember. It may have already happened. I may have missed it while I was on the road trip. I'll have to check. But there's a race either has just happened or it's coming up in the next couple weeks where they're going back to all old, like 70s era paint jobs for the different crew cars. And so like someone's going to be running the
Skull Bandit.
The Skull Bandit. They're going to be running the old 43, the blue and orange.
Oh man,
that one's going to, and the old, and I think it's 70s, but they're also picking a couple from before and after too. So like Jeff Gordon's Rainbow Warrior cars.
I wonder if anybody's going to drive the number 3.
I think that's one of the ones that it's kind of like the retired jersey. They occasionally bring it out, but not often.
Somebody's got to run that one because that was. Regardless of whether you loved him or hate him, he was one of the best drivers in that sport.
Yep.
you talking Earnhardt?
Earnhardt Senior.
Was that a Daytona 500 when he crashed, or was that because we weren't out at the I don't think we were out at the track when it happened, but I think
that was in 99 or 2000, wasn't it?
I was not a fan back then, but yeah, that was late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was either 99 or 2000.
It was one of the major races. It was one of the ovals, so it was either Daytona or Talladega.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not that big of a fan anymore. I mean, when you win 7 championships in a row, what the hell are you going to do?
Yeah, one of the Revell models just did a release a couple of years ago of, I think they had 8 cars in the series of 70s NASCARs, and one of them, and they're bigger. They're I don't even know what the size was, but they're about 24 inches long overall.
Okay.
And they did the first one they released was the Skull Bandit, and that was a badass car, man. That was just, I don't know. I like that older era stuff to begin with. Mm-hmm. Now you have to look real close to see if it's a Chevy, Ford, Toyota, what is it?
Or Honda.
Because they're all shaped the same. Mm-hmm. But, man, you could pick out the difference between, when Buick was still running back in the 70s. They were still running cars.
Well, shit, I've never seen it in person, but I remember when they would run the was it the Roadrunner that had that giant whale tail of a spoiler on the back of it, and that thing would just wipe the floor with people.
That was when they started doing all the aerodynamics. Couldn't say that with the cigar in my mouth.
You're forgiven.
That's a new filter company, Aerodynamics.
Dynamics.
Well, it's funny
Quality racing products.
On the version on Cars, right, the movie.
Yeah.
I found something interesting on that a few weeks ago, and it was on Reels on YouTube when I was doom scrolling one day.
Yeah, I've done that.
They make different models or different versions of the movie for the different locations. So the voice actors can change. Mm-hmm. So
that's very common in movies, actually.
Well, what I found was hilarious was in one of the Cars movies, there's an Aston Martin, and it's the Spy.
Yeah.
For the UK version, it was voiced by His Holiness the Clarkson.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you imagine that one?
No,
I mean, that would be hilarious.
I don't want it.
But
no, I got very nerdy with one of my buddies, John. I was watching NASCAR, and I was on a voice call with him, and I was sharing my screen. And he's like, and a caution came out, and he's like, why doesn't everyone pit? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get nerdy with it. And he was like, I explained to him, like, well, you got to consider, when did you last get tires? When did you fuel last? Who is in the running around you? Who else just pitted? And he's like, he stopped and thought about it. He's like, okay, no shit, that's okay. There's a lot more to this than just driving in the circle.
Hey, man, it's a chess match with a big fucking motor. That's
yes,
what
it is.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot to it. And I miss the racing, even the racing that we did with he and his brothers when they were little. There's a lot to that, too. The problem with it is it's expensive.
Yeah.
And and I'll say that we raced quarter midgets and outlaw carts for a little bit. We didn't go any farther than that into micros or any of the other stuff because, frankly, I couldn't afford it. But to this day, the last time we put a car on a track that was ours in quarter midgets was 2007. To this day, some of the best friendships I have are people that we raced with. It's quarter midget, still the best family sport that I've been involved with because it ain't a drop your kid off and leave it sport. Every kid that he raced with, every kid that either one of his brothers raced with, I knew the parents, the kids, the siblings, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, because everybody, you went to the track on Friday, and if you were lucky, you got home in time Sunday to take a shower so you didn't feel like a complete bag of shit to get up and go to work Monday. It's an all-weekend event, man, but it's a blast.
I propose, we've got about a year, I propose, not record or anything out there, but we definitely have to have a Beyond the Humidor does Capital Quarter Midgets when they host the Grands.
I can dig that.
Not even the Grands, man. Even a club race to go out and watch a 5-year-old operate a piece of equipment that half the adults on this planet can't do without fucking running into each other or over a curb or somebody's mailbox. It's worth a half a day of your time.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. It sounds like fun.
I told Ethan next time he's out here and that there's a race, we got to go out. But no, I can honestly say I've avoided at least 3 car accidents because I had muscle memory of dodging out of the way of Cole Farrow's upside down ass on the track. 100%. I've dodged around someone on the freeway and been like,
that would be
okay.
That would be Sacramento Sheriff's Deputy Cole Farrow now, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, this brings
so
up an
telling
interesting.
Me is someday there will be a report that a cruiser's upside down on I-5. I shit you not, Cole. If somehow you're listening, one of the because there were only ever like 50 total quarter midgets out at Capitol, and they all got swapped around between the different families as kids got bigger. I swear to God, we bought one from the Pharaohs that it was round tube roll cage, but the top of the roll cage was flat because it had been ground down from like the 3 times Cole rolled the car over.
Well,
how the fuck do you do that? It's a quarter midget. 90% of the weight is below the center of gravity. How the fuck do you get this thing on its side, let alone upside fucking down.
Okay, so this brings up an interesting topic, and audience, I'd like you to weigh in on this. Should we get some of these quarter midget folks in and talk to them on an episode? I mean, so the story's got to be entertaining as hell.
Hang on. Dad, is there anyone from the quarter midget realm? I know you just said they're all wonderful people. Is there any group of them that you would want to get on this podcast?
I need to think about that for a minute.
That's what I thought.
Oh, man.
Wait, while we're on the topic, it's funny you brought that up, Greg, because if you'd asked that 3 months ago, the number one guy I would have said would be John Borders.
Yeah.
And John Borders passed away 6 weeks ago. We were just at his funeral 2 weeks ago.
Which was a trip because 99% of the people in that room are wearing Capital t-shirts.
And it's...
which was a specific request, by the way.
Yeah.
Jeans and racing t-shirts.
Jeans and racing t-shirts.
Did you squeeze into a t-shirt?
Wow.
Actually, you're a funny fucking guy.
He's the one that said it.
Hey, last time we put our car onto the track was 2007. I also had to find one that fit.
I actually wore a race shirt, a sprint car shirt, for a kid that he used to race with, that the family moved to North Carolina in, I think, 07.
Yeah, it was right about the time we were finishing up racing. Yeah,
They moved to North Carolina, and Chaz Woodward. That would be a guy, if they were still out here, to get on talk about quarter midgets, would be Dave Woodward. But that's what I'm talking about. I haven't seen the Woodwards in person since 2006 or 2007, but I could get Dave or Sarah Woodward on the phone right now, and we could go 2-hour conversation about stuff that, good times that we had at the track.
We can StreamYard if we have to. That's not a problem.
There you go.
But let's go out to the track first.
Okay.
And
I like
let
it.
you guys check it out, and then
getting a fist fight or two.
Yeah.
Another one that I think we should do, just because of how fondly and insanely you talk about it, is we need to get up to Auburn Raceway and do the sidecar nights for motorcycle racing.
Sidecars for Auburn for Fast Fridays. Another one that's it's kind of. I mean, it's still fun. It's not how I remember it when I was younger. Is Placerville for the sprint cars. One of my customers, somebody I've known for 25 plus years, her daughter is racing sprint cars out of Placerville now. It's Taylor Hall. And anybody in this area that's race fans knows her dad, Scott Hall, used to run sprint cars for years. Taylor's doing actually really well for stepping up to the big leagues in a 360 sprint. So yeah, the cool thing about this area is there's a lot of cool stuff to do like that. They run sprint cars and stuff out at Marysville too. That's a little sketchier.
It's Marysville.
But yeah, I mean they got an asphalt track still for bombers and garage guys out of Roseville. They also do a demolition derby out there once a year because my buddy that owns Lauren Chitwood that owns Roseville Overhead Door. If you need a garage door, he's your guy. But he's been running bombers or demolition derby cars out there for as long as I can remember, 20 years at least. I've been doing lettering on his trucks and numbers on his bomber cars, on his demolition cars for at least 20 years. So yeah, there's a lot of cool shit to do. I mean, it ain't midget wrestling, but it's cool.
I feel bad because one of the things that was on my list of potential things to do when I was out in Kansas is just about 30 minutes north of Ethan. I just randomly saw it on Google Maps when I was making my last check of the route, is the Midget Racing Hall of Fame.
And that's cars, not people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, of all the places for the Midget Racing Hall of Fame to be, it's 30 minutes from where I'm going to be in Kansas. And I'll blame Ethan because his car broke. We weren't able to get up there because we had to do Topeka on the day we would have done it. But yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, boys. Well, I think that about covers it.
Yeah, I think we blew the whole thing today.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking so.
I just want to say on this Meadowlark, this brand, Blackbird, is now one I'm curious about, and this is a great stick.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yes.
for seasoned smokers like us, it's ideal. It's exactly what I would want in a cigar. Even for a new smoker that's only smoked Connecticut's and wants to step up to a medium, this is perfect.
Yep.
It's got the complexity and everything that we need. So, this is a win.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Most definitely. I'm almost tempted to go over and pick up a box. Mm-hmm. That's box worthy right there.
Oh, 10% off on boxes for us, Felix said.
I like it. All right. Well, with all that said, Gorilla, take me home. All right. I am Sans Cigar because it's down to the nub. I had my beer before the show, so I think that does it, and I think it's about that time. Want to thank you for listening on behalf of the Gorilla in the Gorilla Enclosure, Greg, Larry, and myself. Thank you for listening. Check us out at LumisCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Speaking of, I need to get the code for that.
I got to change the password because I don't remember what it is either.
Okay, change the password. Yeah, give me dibs on that because I haven't been on there for a while.
Copy.
All right. And don't be a stranger. Hit us up at info@LumisCigarCartel. Let us know you're out there.
.com.
Thank you. Run that address again in case folks get confused.
info@LumisCigarCartel.com. We will read your email on the air.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let us know you're out there. I'm Scott Robinson, and we look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, stay cool, healthy, and safe. And good smoke, good drink, and good life. Take care. When is the next midget wrestling match?